This video is about a tool that genuinely changed how I study, and it's completely free. I'm going to show you every single feature of it, step by step, so by the end you know exactly how to set this up for your own classes. This is video 2 of the AI for Students series. If you caught video 1 on how to actually use ChatGPT the right way, this one's a natural next step, because today's tool solves a problem that ChatGPT can't. I uploaded 40 pages of lecture notes into a completely free tool, and in under 2 minutes, it gave me back a study guide, a practice quiz, and, this is the part that actually surprised me, an audio podcast of 2 AI voices discussing my notes back and forth, like an actual review session with a study partner. This tool is called NotebookLM. It's made by Google, and I genuinely think it's one of the most underused study tools that exists right now. In this video, I'm walking through every single feature, one at a time, with real examples on screen, so you can set this up for your own classes by the time this video ends. Before we get into the features, I want to explain one important distinction, because it's the entire reason this tool is trustworthy for studying. Tools like ChatGPT pull from the entire internet. That's powerful, but it comes with a real risk. They can be wrong, they can be outdated, or they can just flat out make things up. There's actually a technical term for this: hallucinating. The AI sounds completely confident while stating something that isn't true. NotebookLM works completely differently. It only answers based on the exact documents that you upload. So if you give it your professor's slides, your textbook chapter, or your own handwritten notes, everything it generates is grounded specifically in that material, not some generic internet answer that might not even match what your class actually covers. That distinction is a huge deal for exam prep specifically, because the last thing you want is to study confidently from information that turns out to be wrong. This is exactly why I trust this tool in a way I don't fully trust a general AI chatbot for this particular job. First, go to NotebookLM and create a new notebook. I'm going to name mine after an actual class. Let's say an intro psychology course, just so this example feels real instead of abstract. Second, you upload your source material. This can be PDF lecture slides, a Word doc of your typed notes, even pasted text directly from an assignment page. And here's something a lot of people don't realize. If your notes are handwritten, you can photograph them, and NotebookLM can still read and use that material. Third, and this is where it gets genuinely useful, you can upload multiple sources into a single notebook. So for this example, I'm adding 3 weeks worth of lecture slides, plus my own typed up notes from those same 3 weeks, all into one place. That means everything generated from here forward pulls from all of it combined, not just one document at a time. As soon as your sources are uploaded, NotebookLM automatically generates something called the overview, a plain language summary of what your documents actually cover. I want you to treat this as your sanity check, every single time. If that overview looks accurate and matches what you expect your notes to cover, great, you know your upload worked. But if something in that summary looks wrong or something feels like it's missing, that's your signal that a source didn't upload properly or got cut off partway through. This step takes about 10 seconds to read, but skipping it is exactly how people end up building an entire study guide on top of a broken upload, so don't skip it. Now here's where this tool starts to genuinely save you time. Under the Studio panel, there's a study guide option. Click it, and it generates 3 things at once. First, key terms with definitions. And I want to stress this part. These definitions come directly from your uploaded slides, not from some generic psychology textbook floating around online. If your professor uses a specific definition or a specific framing of a concept, that's what shows up here. Second, potential essay questions generated based on the actual structure and emphasis of your notes, not just a random guess at what might come up. Third, a section summary, broken down to match the real organization of your lecture material, section by section instead of some reshuffled generic outline. All 3 of these together took less than 30 seconds to generate, and they're built entirely from material your own professor actually taught. Right next to the study guide is another feature I use constantly, the FAQ generator. This one predicts likely questions based on your uploaded material, and then answers each one using only your notes. Nothing pulled in from outside sources. Here's exactly when I use this: the night before an exam, as a rapid-fire review. I go through the generated questions one at a time, try to answer each one in my head before reading the AI's answer, and use it as a final gut check on what I actually remember versus what I thought I remembered. Because it's grounded entirely in your own class material, you're never reviewing information that doesn't actually match what your professor is going to test you on. And now, the feature that I think makes this tool genuinely unique. Nothing else I've tried does this. It's called the audio overview. You click generate, and after about a minute, NotebookLM produces an actual podcast-style conversation. Two AI hosts, talking back and forth about your specific notes, almost exactly like two people doing a real study session together. They'll explain concepts, ask each other questions, bring up connections between ideas. It genuinely sounds like a natural conversation, not a robotic text-to-speech reading of a summary. I listened to this while walking to class. I listened to it during a commute. Honestly, I've fallen asleep listening to it more than once, which, for a night where I just need passive exposure to material before a big exam, actually works in my favor. If you're an auditory learner, or if you just have dead time during your day that you'd rather not waste, this feature alone might be worth setting the whole tool up for. One more feature before we move on. You can just talk to your notebook directly, like a chat. Here's a prompt I use constantly. Based on these notes, what's most likely to be a short answer question on the exam? And this is the part I really want you to notice. Every single answer it gives you comes with a citation, pointing back to the exact page or slide the answer came from. That means you're never just trusting the AI blindly. You can click through, verify it against your actual source material in seconds, and confirm it's not just generating something that sounds plausible. That citation feature is, in my opinion, the single biggest trust builder in this entire tool. I want to pause here and be honest with you, because no tool is perfect, and I'd rather you know the limitations up front than find out the hard way. First, if your source material is messy, like a poorly scanned handwritten page, the quality of everything generated from it drops. Garbage in, garbage out still applies here. Second, this tool is much stronger for reading and concept-heavy subjects, like history, psychology, or literature, than it is for math or science classes that need actual practice problems. It's not going to replace working through calculus problem sets or chemistry equations. Third, and maybe most important, this should be one part of your study system, not the entire thing. I still do practice problems, I still go to office hours, I still study with friends sometimes. This tool speeds up the note review side of things dramatically. It doesn't replace the rest of studying. So let me show you exactly how I fit this into a real week, because a feature list only matters if you actually use it consistently. Sunday night, I upload that week's lecture slides as soon as I get them, and I generate the study guide immediately, so it's ready before the next class even starts. 2 days before any quiz or exam, I generate the audio overview, and I listen to it during whatever downtime I've already got. Walking somewhere, doing laundry, commuting, dead time I wasn't using for studying anyway. The night before the exam, I run the FAQ feature one final time as a last rapid review pass, right before I go to sleep. That's genuinely the whole system. Maybe 15 minutes total of active setup time each week, in exchange for hours of higher quality, more consistent studying, spread across the week instead of crammed the night before. Let's bring it all together. 5 features, all inside one completely free tool. The overview, which sanity checks that your upload actually worked. The study guide, which gives you key terms and potential essay questions pulled straight from your own material. The FAQ generator, for rapid-fire review right before an exam. The audio overview, genuinely the standout feature, which turns your notes into a listenable podcast-style conversation. And direct question and answer, with citations, so you can verify every single answer against your actual source. All 5 of these are free. The link is in the description below. Go set this up before your next exam, not after it. Try this on your very next lecture. Upload just one set of notes, generate the study guide, and see what it gives you back. I think you'll be surprised by how good it is right out of the gate. Let me know in the comments which subject you tried it on. I'm genuinely curious what classes people are using this for. Coming up next in this series, the exact AI flashcard workflow that's been saving me almost an hour every single week, plus the free spaced repetition app I pair it with. If you don't want to miss it, go ahead and subscribe now. I'll see you in the next one.